Welcome to Apex Atlas. Take a deep breath and let the rhythm of the West African breeze find you. You are about to enter a land where history is etched in gold and where hospitality is not just a gesture but a way of life. This is Ghana, the Black Star of Africa. From the ancient whispers of the Ashanti Kingdom to the modern pulse of Accra, there is a story in every corner. 200 stories, to be exact. So, settle in. Open your heart to the Akwaba spirit. These are 200 things you should know about the land of freedom and justice. Let our journey begin. The meaning of the name: when the nation transitioned from the Gold Coast to Ghana, it wasn't a random choice. They chose the name of the ancient Ghana Empire. In the Sonic language, Ghana translates to warrior king. It was a title given to the emperors, signaling a new era of strength and leadership. The center of the world, Ghana is geographically the closest country to the center of the Earth's coordinates. The intersection of the equator, 0 degrees latitude, and the Greenwich meridian, 0 degrees longitude, is located in the Atlantic Ocean, just south of the Ghanaian port city of Tema. Accra, the coastal hub. Accra has served as the capital since 1877, when the British moved the administration from Cape Coast because Accra had a drier climate. Today, it's a bustling metropolis of over 2 million people, blending colonial architecture with modern skyscrapers. The motto, freedom and justice, these aren't just words on a crest, they were a revolutionary cry. Chosen at the birth of the nation, the motto was a direct rebuttal to the decades of colonial oppression and a promise of a fair legal system for all citizens. Flag symbolism: the red, the top horizontal stripe of the national flag is red. This represents the blood of those who died in the struggle for independence from British rule, ensuring that every time the flag flies, the sacrifice of the ancestors is remembered. Flag symbolism: the gold, the middle stripe is gold, representing the mineral wealth of the land. Historically known as the Gold Coast, Ghana remains one of the world's top producers of gold, a resource that has shaped its economy for centuries. Flag symbolism: the green, the bottom stripe is green, symbolizing the country's rich agriculture and lush vegetation. From the tropical rainforests in the south to the fertile savannas in the north, the land is the literal lifeblood of the people. The Black Star of Africa, designed by Theodosia Salome Oka, the black star in the center of the flag was inspired by Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line. It represents African emancipation and serves as a beacon of hope for black people globally. A historic date, March 6th. Every year, March 6th is a sea of red, gold, and green. It marks the day in 1957 when the British Union Jack was lowered for the last time at midnight, and the Ghanaian flag was raised, signaling the end of colonial rule. The sub-Saharan trailblazer, Ghana's independence was a domino effect moment. Being the first sub-Saharan African nation to break free from European colonialism, it provided the blueprint and the financial support for many other African nations to follow suit. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president, was more than a politician, he was a philosopher. Known by the title Osajifo, the Redeemer, he was educated in the US and UK and returned to lead the Convention People's Party to a landslide victory. The national anthem, God Bless Our Homeland Ghana, was originally written and composed by Philip Baho. The lyrics are a prayer for the nation to be bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. The evolution of the Sadi. The word Sadi is derived from the Fant word for cowrie shells. These shells were used as currency for centuries before paper money. One Sadi is divided into 100 Peisewas. English as the official tongue, due to the colonial legacy, English remains the official language. This has helped Ghana become a major hub for international business, NGOs, and tourism, though it exists alongside over 80 indigenous languages. The landmass, covering roughly 238,533 square kilometers, Ghana is roughly the same size as the United Kingdom or the state of Oregon. Despite its relatively small size, it contains incredibly diverse ecosystems. A growing population. As of 2024, Ghana's population is estimated at over 34 million. It is a very young nation, with a median age of around 21, meaning the energy and future of the country are driven by its youth. The move to a republic. While independence was achieved in 1957, Ghana remained a constitutional monarchy under Queen Elizabeth II for 3 years. On July 1, 1960, it officially became a republic, cutting the final ties to the British monarchy. The GMT time zone. Because the Greenwich Meridian passes through the city of Tema, Ghana is exactly on Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. This makes it a perfect anchor point for global navigation and timekeeping. The Gold Coast legacy. The name Gold Coast was used by Europeans from the 15th century onward. The Portuguese, Dutch, Danes, and British all fought over this coastline specifically because of the sheer volume of gold available for trade. The African fish eagle, often seen perched near the Volta River or the coast, the African fish eagle is the national bird. Its image is frequently used in national symbols to represent keen vision, power, and the spirit of the nation. The origin of the name, as we noted, Ghana means warrior king in the Sonink language. It was the title given to the rulers of the ancient Ghana Empire. Ancient migration. The people of modern Ghana are believed to have migrated from the ancient Ghana Empire, located in present-day Mali and Mauritania, after its fall in the 13th century. The first European contact. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to arrive on the coast in 1471. They were so dazzled by the abundance of gold being traded that they named the region Costa do Ouro, Gold Coast. Elmina Castle. Built by the Portuguese in 1482, Elmina Castle is the oldest European building in sub-Saharan Africa. It was originally a trade post for gold but later became a major site for the transatlantic slave trade. UNESCO Heritage. Ghana's coastline is home to over 30 forts and castles built by the Portuguese, Dutch, British, Danes, and Swedes. These are now preserved as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Door of No Return. Many of these castles contain a narrow portal known as the Door of No Return, through which millions of enslaved Africans were forced onto ships, never to see their homeland again. The Ashanti Empire. Founded in the late 17th century by Osei Tutu, the Ashanti Empire became one of the most powerful and wealthy military states in Africa, centered in Kumasi. The Golden Stool. Sika Dwa Kofi. This is the ultimate symbol of the Ashanti soul. Legend says it descended from the sky into the lap of Osei Tutu. It is so sacred that it is never allowed to touch the ground and no one is allowed to sit on it. The War of the Golden Stool. In 1900, a British official demanded to sit on the Golden Stool. This sparked a rebellion led by the warrior Queen Yer Asantwe, who led the Ashanti army against the British. British colony. After centuries of conflict and trade, the Gold Coast was officially declared a British Crown colony in 1874. The move to Accra. Accra became the capital of the British Gold Coast in 1877, moving the seat of government from Cape Coast because of its drier climate. The Big Six, these were the 6 leaders of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, the leading political party in the struggle for independence. They are pictured on all of Ghana's banknotes. Kwame Nkrumah, a member of the Big Six, he broke away to form his own party and eventually became the first president of Ghana. He is considered the father of African Pan-Africanism. Independence Day. On March 6, 1957, Ghana became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence from colonial rule. The Black Star Square, also known as Independence Square in Accra, it was commissioned by Nkrumah to host large-scale military and civic parades. It is the second largest city square in the world after Tiananmen Square. Pan-African colors. Ghana was the first to adopt the red, yellow, and green colors of the Ethiopian flag for its own, which then inspired the flags of dozens of other newly independent African nations. The Asante. Even today, the Ashanti Kingdom exists as a sub-national traditional state. The Asante, the king, still holds immense cultural and traditional influence from his palace in Kumasi. Manhia Palace, the seat of the Asante. The original palace was destroyed by the British during the War of the Golden Stool, but it was later rebuilt and now houses a world-class museum. The Larabanga Mosque, located in the north, this is the oldest mosque in Ghana, built around 1421. It is constructed in the Sudanese Sahelian architectural style using mud and reeds. The National Museum, opened on the eve of independence in 1957, it is the oldest and largest museum in the country, housing artifacts that range from prehistoric times to the modern era. 200 facts, 200 heartbeats of a nation. We have traveled through time, from the ancient gold of the Ashanti to the vibrant, modern pulse of Accra. We have tasted the spice of the land and felt the warmth of the Akwaba spirit. But the beauty of Ghana is a story that never truly ends. If these facts moved you, or if you discovered a side of the Black Star you never knew existed, please give this video a like. It helps these stories of heritage and heart reach across the world. To join us as we continue to explore the wonders of our global family, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support keeps this journey alive. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for being part of this journey. Until we meet again on the next map, keep the spirit of freedom in your heart. Akwaba, and goodbye for now. The giant called Lake Volta, Ghana is home to Lake Volta, the world's largest man-made lake by surface area. It covers nearly 3.6% of the country's total land. Created by the Akosombo Dam in 1965, it's so large it can be seen from space, providing transport, fish, and water to millions. Mount Afadjato standing at 885 meters, 2,904 feet, this is the highest peak in Ghana. Located in the Agumatsa Range near the border with Togo, the name Afadja comes from the U word Avadzeto, which refers to a war with the bush because the mountain is covered in a plant that causes skin irritation. The Gulf of Guinea, Ghana's entire southern border, a coastline stretching 560 kilometers, is defined by the Gulf of Guinea. This part of the Atlantic Ocean has been the gateway for trade, from ancient gold merchants to modern-day oil tankers. The Tema Meridian, the port city of Tema, holds a unique global distinction. It sits exactly on the Greenwich Meridian, 0 degrees longitude. There is a landmark at the Presbyterian Church in Tema Community 1 that marks the exact spot where the line passes. Mole National Park, located in the northwest, this is Ghana's largest and oldest wildlife refuge. It's unique because it offers foot safaris, where you can walk with a ranger just a few yards away from wild African elephants, as well as leopards and rare birds. The Karkum Canopy Walkway. Inside the Karkum National Park lies one of the most famous tourist attractions in Africa. It is a 350-meter-long canopy walkway suspended 40 meters above the forest floor. It's one of only 3 such walkways on the entire continent, offering a monkey's eye view of the rainforest. 3 distinct vegetation zones. Ghana is geographically layered. It transitions from the coastal savannas in the south through a massive belt of tropical rainforest in the center to the dry Guinea savanna in the north, creating a massive variety of agricultural possibilities. The Volta River system. The country is drained by the massive Volta River system. It has 3 main branches, the Black Volta, the White Volta, and the Red Volta, named for the color of the silt they carry, all of which eventually merge into Lake Volta. The Buoy Dam. While Akosombo is the most famous, the Buoy Dam on the Black Volta is the second largest hydroelectric plant. Built in partnership with China, it was a massive 21st century project to stabilize the nation's growing energy needs. Wuli Waterfalls. Tucked away in the Ho-Ho municipality, Wuli is the highest waterfall in West Africa. It has 2 levels, the lower falls, which is easy to reach, and the upper falls, which requires a grueling hike but offers a view of thousands of bats clinging to the cliffs. The friendly crocodiles of Pega. In the far north, at the border of Burkina Faso, lies the Pega Crocodile Pond. To the locals, these crocodiles are sacred and contain the souls of their ancestors. They are so tame that tourists can actually sit on them or hold their tails without fear. Boabengfiema Monkey Sanctuary. This is a rare example of traditional conservation. In these 2 villages, monkeys are considered sacred. If a monkey dies, it is given a traditional funeral and buried in a special cemetery. This belief has protected the local Mona and Colobus monkeys for centuries. A tropical climate. Ghana stays warm all year round. It sits between 4 and 11 degrees north of the equator. Instead of 4 seasons, it has 2, the rainy season, April to October, and the dry season, November to March. The Harmattan wind. Between December and February, a weather phenomenon called the Harmattan occurs. A dry, dusty wind blows down from the Sahara Desert, creating a hazy fog and dropping the humidity significantly. It's the closest Ghana gets to winter. Wildlife diversity. Beyond elephants, Ghana's forests and plains are home to hippos, waterbucks, hyenas, and the rare Diana monkey. The country acts as a vital bridge for migratory birds traveling between Europe and Africa. The Butterfly Sanctuary. Located near Kumasi, the Bobbery Forest Reserve is one of the few butterfly sanctuaries in the world. It houses over 400 species of butterflies, which swarm in vibrant clouds of color during the peak sunny months. Shai Hills Resource Reserve. Just a short drive from Accra, this reserve features massive granite hills. It's the ancestral home of the Shai people and is famous today for its troops of baboons that often greet cars at the entrance. Lake Basumtwi. This is Ghana's only natural lake. It is located in an ancient meteorite impact crater that is over 1 million years old. The Ashanti people consider it sacred, and traditionally, they only allow fishing from wooden planks called paduas, rather than modern boats. Adafo, where the waters meet. This scenic town sits at the estuary of the Volta River, where the fresh river water meets the salty Atlantic Ocean. It's a maze of islands, mangroves, and luxury beach resorts. Nzulezu, the village on stilts. The name means water surface in the Nzema language. This entire village is built on stilts over Lake Tudan. All daily life, from the school to the church, happens on wooden platforms, and the only way to get around is by canoe. The Great Jollof War. Ghana is a lead participant in the Jollof Wars, a friendly but fierce rivalry with Nigeria over who makes the best jollof rice. Ghanaian jollof typically uses long-grain basmati or Thai jasmine rice, giving it a distinct aroma and a slightly firmer texture than its neighbors' versions. The art of fufu. Fufu is the quintessential Ghanaian staple. It is made by pounding boiled cassava and green plantains into a smooth, stretchy dough. It is never chewed. Instead, you tear off a small piece with your right hand, create a small indentation, scoop up some soup, and swallow it whole. Banku and tilapia. A favorite of the coastal people, banku is a mix of fermented corn and cassava dough cooked into a consistent ball. It has a slightly sour taste that perfectly complements the charred, spicy flavor of large, grilled freshwater tilapia. Kenki, the coastal dumpling, particularly popular among the Ga people of Accra, kenki is made from fermented white corn. It is wrapped in dried corn husks and steamed. It's dense, sour, and usually served with fried fish and black pepper sauce, shito. Wake, rice and beans. This is the ultimate Ghanaian breakfast. The rice and beans are cooked with dried millet stalk leaves, which give the dish its signature deep reddish-brown color and earthy flavor. It's often served in a broad leaf called a sawa leaf. Keluele, the ultimate street snack. If you walk through Accra at night, you'll smell this. It consists of ripe plantain chunks seasoned with a heavy paste of ginger, onions, and chili, then fried until caramelized. It's the perfect spicy-sweet midnight snack. Red, gari forte are named for the color provided by red palm oil. This is a hearty bean stew made with black-eyed peas. It is almost always served with fried ripe plantains, creating a beautiful balance of savory and sweet. Shito, the black gold. This is Ghana's signature condiment. It is a dark, spicy pepper sauce made from ginger, dried crustaceans, shrimp and fish, and chili. Most Ghanaian students won't go to boarding school without a jar of mom's homemade shito. Freshwater tilapia. Because of Lake Volta, tilapia is a national staple. It is usually seasoned with a blend of local spices and grilled over charcoal until the skin is crispy and the meat is tender. Light soup, nkrakra. Don't let the name fool you. While the broth is thin and tomato-based, it is packed with heat. Usually made with goat meat or fresh fish, it is the go-to soup for fufu and is often used as a restorative meal for those feeling under the weather. Groundnut soup, nkatankwan. This is a rich, creamy, and nutty soup made from roasted peanut paste. It's incredibly savory and is often served with fufu or omo tuor, rice balls. Palm nut soup, abenkwan. This soup is made from the juice extracted from pounded palm fruits. It's thick, oily, in a good way, and has a unique, earthy richness that is distinct from any other West African soup. Tuor zafi, TZ. Hailing from northern Ghana, TZ is made from maize or millet flour. It's much softer and less sticky than banku or fufu and is usually eaten with a yo-yo soup, a green, leafy soup made from jute leaves. Bofrit, puff. These are sweet, deep-fried dough balls. They are crunchy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll often see vendors carrying large translucent buckets of these on their heads during the morning rush. Sabolo, hibiscus tea. This refreshing, deep red drink is made from dried roselle leaves, hibiscus, heavily spiced with ginger and cloves. It's served ice cold and is Ghana's answer to a cooling summer punch. Pito, the northern brew. In the upper east and west regions, you'll find pito. It is a traditional beer brewed from fermented millet. It is usually served in a calabash and can be enjoyed either sweet, unfermented, or fermented for a kick. Akpechi, local gin. This is a potent, locally distilled spirit. It can be made from either palm wine or sugar cane. It was actually banned during colonial times as the British wanted to sell their own imported gin, making it a symbol of resistance for many. Acerana, a traditional corn beer made from fermented corn and caramelized sugar. It has a unique, smoky sweetness and is almost always served with a lot of ice. Chek. If you're in a hurry in a Ghanaian city, you look for chek. This is the local slang for street-side fried rice, usually served with a piece of chicken, a boiled egg, and a generous dollop of shito. The culture of water, akwaba in traditional Ghanaian homes. Before you are even asked why you visited, you are served a glass of water. This is the first sign of hospitality, signaling that you are welcome and your thirst is recognized. The Royal Kent cloth, perhaps the most famous fabric in the world, Kent originated from the Ashanti and U kingdoms. Each pattern and color has a specific meaning. For example, yellow represents royalty and wealth, while blue represents peace and harmony. Traditionally, it was worn only by kings and queens. The wisdom of Adinkra symbols, created by the Akan people. Adinkra symbols are a visual language. You'll see them on cloth, walls, and pottery. The most famous is Jai Nyame, except God, which signifies the supremacy of the Creator, and Sankafa, a bird looking backward, which means it is not taboo to go back and fetch what you forgot. Your soul name, day names in Ghana. Your name is determined the moment you are born. Every child is given a name based on the day of the week they arrive. For example, a boy born on Friday is Kofi, and a girl is Afua. This soul name connects every Ghanaian to their heritage instantly. A tapestry of ethnicities, Ghana is a big tent of over 100 ethnic groups. The largest are the Akan, followed by the Moldagban, U, and Gara Dangbe. Despite this diversity, Ghana has avoided the ethnic conflicts seen in other regions, priding itself on national unity. A land of many tongues, while English is the official language for school and government, there are over 80 indigenous languages spoken. It is very common for a Ghanaian to be multilingual, speaking their mother tongue, English, and perhaps one or two other local languages. Chi, the lingua franca, among the many languages, Chi, a dialect of Akan, is the most widely spoken. It has become the unofficial language of the streets and markets, even in areas where other languages are native. The power of festivals. Every region has a major festival. The Homowo, meaning hooting at hunger, is celebrated by the Ga people in Accra to remember a great famine, while the Hogbetsotso of the U people commemorates their ancestral migration to freedom. The famous fantasy coffins. In the Ga community, funerals are a celebration of life. Artisans create elaborate coffins shaped like things the deceased loved. If you were a pilot, you might be buried in an airplane. If you were a fisherman, a giant cocoa bean or a fish. The birth of high life. Ghana is the birthplace of high life music. Emerging in the early 1900s, it combined traditional African rhythms with Western brass instruments. It eventually spread across West Africa and influenced modern Afrobeat. The hip-life revolution. In the 1990s, artists like Reggie Rockstone fused traditional highlife with American hip-hop to create hiplife. It's a genre that allowed the youth to express modern struggles while keeping their cultural roots. Adawa and traditional dance. Dance is a form of communication. The Adawa dance of the Akan people is characterized by graceful hand movements that actually tell a story or send a message to the audience or the chiefs. The chieftaincy institution. Even though Ghana is a modern democracy, traditional chiefs still hold immense power and respect. They act as custodians of the land and traditional law, and no politician would visit a town without first paying homage to the local chief. A religious mosaic. Ghana is deeply spiritual. About 71% are Christian and 17% are Muslim, with the remainder following traditional African religions. Religion is visible everywhere. Even the names of small shops are often religious, like God's Grace Hair Salon. Unrivaled religious tolerance. Ghana is a global model for peace. It is perfectly common to see a Christian and a Muslim living in the same house or celebrating each other's holidays. Religious tension is almost non-existent in the country. The outdooring ceremony. A baby's first public appearance is called an outdooring. It happens 8 days after birth. The child is given their name and symbolic tastes of water and wine to teach them the difference between yes and no, or truth and lies. Deep respect for elders. In Ghanaian culture, age is synonymous with wisdom. You never greet a group of people without starting with the eldest person first, and it is considered very rude to use your left hand to give or receive something from an elder. The right hand rule. You always eat, wave, and hand over money with your right hand. The left hand is traditionally reserved for personal hygiene, so using it in social interactions is a major taboo. Politeness as a currency. Language in Ghana is very flowery and polite. You almost always start a request with Mepa wo Q, I beg of you please. Akwaba, welcome, is the most common word you'll hear as a visitor. The extravagance of funerals. In Ghana, a funeral is often a bigger social event than a wedding. Families spend months planning, and hundreds, sometimes thousands, of guests attend, often wearing specific black and red or white funeral cloths. Azonto, the global craze. Around 2011, the Azonto dance went viral worldwide. It started in the coastal slums of Ghana and involves miming everyday activities, like washing clothes or driving, to a heavy beat. The Cocoa King. Ghana is the world's second largest producer of cocoa, following Ivory Coast. Cocoa is more than just a crop here. It provides a livelihood for over 800,000 farmers and is the backbone of the rural economy. Africa's gold leader. In recent years, Ghana has overtaken South Africa to become the leading producer of gold on the African continent. Gold accounts for nearly 48% of the country's total export revenue. The black gold, oil. In 2007, major offshore oil reserves were discovered in the Jubilee field. Commercial production began in 2010, transforming Ghana into an oil exporting nation and bringing a massive influx of foreign investment. Bauxite and manganese. Beyond gold, Ghana is rich in industrial minerals. It has massive deposits of bauxite, used for aluminum, and is one of the top exporters of manganese in the world, essential for steel production. Diamond rich. The town of Kejetia is the heart of Ghana's diamond industry. While smaller than the gold sector, Ghana has been mining industrial-grade diamonds for nearly a century. The tourism boom. Since the year of return in 2019, tourism has become one of the fastest-growing sectors. It is now a top 4 foreign exchange earner, as millions of people visit to explore their ancestral roots and the country's natural beauty. Timber and tropical woods. Ghana's lush rainforests provide high-value timber like teak, mahogany, and odum. The government now strictly regulates this sector to balance economic gain with environmental conservation. The cashew surge. In the Bono and Ahafo regions, cashew nuts have become a gold mine for farmers. Ghana is now one of the largest exporters of raw cashew nuts to markets in India and Vietnam. The shea butter capital, northern Ghana, is part of the Shea Belt. The country is a global leader in the export of shea nuts and butter, which is a staple ingredient in the world's most expensive cosmetic and chocolate brands. The Ghana Stock Exchange, GSE, established in 1990, the GSE in Accra is one of the best-performing stock markets in Africa. It allows Ghanaians and international investors to buy stakes in the country's biggest banks and telecom companies. A digital pioneer, Ghana is often called the digital gateway of Africa. It has one of the highest mobile money penetration rates in the world, allowing people in even the most remote villages to bank, pay bills, and receive international transfers via their phones. Kantanka, the homegrown car. Ghana has its own automobile manufacturer. Kantanka Automobile, founded by Apostle Kwadwo assembles SUVs and pickups in Ghana, specifically designed to handle the rugged local terrain. The power of the informal sector. Despite the big industries, a massive 80% of the workforce operates in the informal sector. This includes the street hawkers, tailors, and small-scale traders who keep the economy moving every single day. Makola Market. Located in the heart of Accra, Makola is a legendary open-air market. It is dominated by powerful market queens, women who control the supply chains of everything from textiles to tomatoes. Kejetia Market. Based in Kumasi, the newly rebuilt Kejetia Market is the largest single market in West Africa, featuring over 10,000 stores and stalls under one massive roof. Energy exporter. Thanks to its hydroelectric dams and gas-to-power plants, Ghana doesn't just power itself, it exports electricity to its neighbors, Togo, Benin, and Burkina Faso. Tech hub status. Global giants are noticing Ghana's potential. In recent years, Google opened its first African artificial intelligence (AI) lab in Accra, and Twitter, now X, chose Accra for its first African headquarters. Salt production. The Songa Lagoon in Ada is one of the largest salt-producing areas in West Africa. White gold from this region is exported across the sub-region for both food and industrial use. Real estate boom. The skyline of Accra is changing daily. Areas like Airport City and East Legon have seen a massive boom in luxury real estate, driven by the growing middle class and the returning diaspora. Remittance power. Money sent home by Ghanaians living in the US, UK, and Canada, the diaspora, is a massive economic pillar, often totaling over $4 billion a year, which is more than many of the country's physical exports. The Black Stars. This is the iconic nickname of the Ghana national men's football team. Named after the star on the national flag, they are a symbol of African excellence and were the first African team to qualify for the second round of the World Cup in their debut year, 2006. The 2010 World Cup heartbreak. Ghana famously reached the quarter-finals of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. They were seconds away from becoming the first African team to reach a semi-final before a controversial handball by Uruguay's Luis Suarez stopped a certain goal. Afghan dominance. Ghana is a powerhouse in the Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, having won the prestigious trophy 4 times, 1963, 1965, 1978, and 1982. They have also finished as runners-up many times, cementing their status as perennial contenders. Abedi Pele Ayew, often cited as one of the greatest African footballers in history, Abedi Pele won the African Player of the Year award 3 years in a row in the early 90s and was a star for the French club Marseille. Asamoah Gyan's record, a true legend, Asamoah Gyan is Ghana's all-time leading goal scorer. More impressively, he is the highest-scoring African in the history of the FIFA World Cup, with 6 goals across 3 tournaments. The professor of boxing, Azumah Nelson, is a national hero and widely considered the greatest boxer to ever come out of Africa. He held world titles in 2 weight classes and was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. The Royal Storm, Isaac the Royal Storm Dogbo, is another world champion boxer who captured the WBO junior featherweight title. He is known for his warrior spirit and for shouting "Niho," meaning root it out, before his fights. Olympic pedigree. While football is king, Ghana has a storied Olympic history, particularly in boxing and track. The country won its first ever Olympic medal, silver, in 1960, thanks to boxer Clement Quarty. Pioneering medicine. It's not just sports. Dr. Elizabeth Banker became a symbol of achievement as one of Ghana's notable neurosurgeons, proving that Ghanaian excellence extends into the most complex fields of science. Literary giants. Authors like Ama Ata Adu and Ai Kweyama, author of The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born, are studied globally. Their work explores the complex identity of post-colonial Africa with sharp, poetic insight. Fashion's global influence. The late Virgil Abloh, the artistic director for Louis Vuitton's menswear and founder of Off-White, was of Ghanaian descent. He often incorporated Ghanaian motifs and the Black Star ethos into his world-famous designs. Hollywood connection. Ghana's talent pool reaches the big screen. Global stars like Idris Elba, whose mother is Ghanaian, Michael Blackson, and Boris Kodjoe have strong roots in the country and frequently visit to promote the creative arts. The Black Galaxies. This is the nickname for the national football team consisting only of players who play in the local Ghanaian domestic league. They represent the grassroots strength of the nation's favorite sport. The Black Queens. Ghana's national women's football team was one of the first African women's teams to compete on the world stage, qualifying for the Women's World Cup in 1999 and 2003. Under-20 World Champions. In 2009, Ghana made history by becoming the first, and so far only, African nation to win the FIFA U20 World Cup, defeating Brazil in a thrilling penalty shootout in Egypt. Hockey excellence. Many people don't know that Ghana is a force in field hockey. The national stadium in Accra is world-class, and both the men's and women's teams are consistently ranked among the best in Africa. The speedsters. Ghana has a proud tradition in athletics. Sprinters like Benjamin Azamati currently hold national records and compete at the highest levels of the Diamond League and the Olympics. The Ghana must go bag. While it started from a tense political moment in 1983 when Ghanaians were expelled from Nigeria, the checkered plastic bag became a global fashion icon. It was even featured on high-fashion runways by brands like Balenciaga. Contemporary art stars. artist Ibrahim Mahama gained international fame for wrapping massive public buildings in old jute cocoa sacks. His work is a commentary on trade, labor, and the history of Ghanaian resources. The Spirit of Akan. While Akan is Senegalese-American, his collaboration with Ghanaian artists and his year of return support helped bridge the gap between American hip-hop and the Ghanaian music scene. Kumasi, the Garden City. Known as the Garden City of West Africa due to its lush greenery and flowers, Kumasi is the capital of the Ashanti region. It is the heart of Akan culture and home to the Manhia Palace, where the Asante, the king of the Ashanti, resides. Tema, the harbor city. Built from scratch in the 1960s, Tema is Ghana's industrial backbone. It houses the country's largest seaport and was carefully planned by the first president, Kwame Nkrumah, to be the industrial lung of the nation. Takoradi, the oil city. Part of the twin city Sekonde Takoradi, this was once just a quiet port. However, since the discovery of offshore oil, it has boomed into a high-energy oil city, attracting engineers and investors from around the globe. Tamale, the Northern Star. Tamale is widely considered the fastest-growing city in West Africa. It's the gateway to the north, known for its wide roads, many bicycles, and the unique architecture of its mosques and traditional palaces. Cape Coast, the academic capital. Cape Coast was the first capital of the Gold Coast. Today, it is known for its world-class boarding schools and the hauntingly beautiful Cape Coast Castle, which stands as a silent witness to the slave trade. Ho, the scenic gateway. Nestled in the Volta Region, Ho is surrounded by mountains and cocoa farms. It is famous for its clean air, breathtaking views, and its proximity to the country's most spectacular waterfalls. Koforidua, the bead market, often called Koftown, this city is famous for its weekly bead market. People travel from all over the world to buy intricate, handcrafted glass beads made using traditional methods that have remained unchanged for centuries. Sunyani, the clean city. Sunyani has a reputation for being one of the cleanest and most orderly cities in Ghana. It is a major hub for agriculture, particularly the cocoa and cashew trade, and acts as a bridge between the south and the north. Larabanga Mosque, located in the Savannah region, this is Ghana's oldest mosque, built in 1421. It is constructed in the Sudanese architectural style using mud and reeds, and it is home to an ancient Quran believed to have been delivered from heaven to a local imam. The Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, located in Accra, this park is the final resting place of Ghana's first president. The mausoleum is designed to resemble an upside-down sword, which in Akan culture is a symbol of peace. Oxford Street, Osu. If you're looking for nightlife, this is it. Oxford Street in the Osu district of Accra is famous for its global restaurants, vibrant street food, and 24/7 energy. It's where modern Ghana comes to play. Jamestown Lighthouse. Jamestown is the oldest district in Accra. Its iconic red and white lighthouse offers a panoramic view of the fishing harbor and the Usher and James forts, marking where the city began. Labadi Pleasure Beach. This is the most popular beach in the capital. On weekends, it transforms into a cultural stage with acrobats, reggae bands, and horse riders, all set against the backdrop of the Atlantic waves. Bojo Beach, the island retreat. This unique beach is separated from the mainland by a freshwater lagoon. To get to the white sands of the beach, you have to be rowed across the lagoon in a small canoe, making it a peaceful escape from the city noise. The Flagstaff House, Jubilee House. This is the official residence and office of the President of Ghana. Its unique architecture is inspired by the Ashanti stool, a symbol of authority and leadership. The University of Ghana, Legon, founded in 1948, its red-tiled roofs and white walls are iconic. It is one of the most prestigious universities in Africa and has educated many of the continent's top leaders and thinkers. NUST, the tech hub, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi is the premier institution for engineering and technology. Its sprawling, green campus is a city within itself. Aburi Botanical Gardens, located in the Akwapim Mountains, these gardens were established in 1890. The cool mountain air and the collection of rare tropical plants make it a favorite weekend getaway for city dwellers from Accra. Tafi Atom, the monkey village. This is a sacred grove where monarchy monkeys are believed to be the watchmen of the village. It is a world-class example of ecotourism, where the community protects the wildlife as part of their spiritual heritage. Wechio Hippo Sanctuary. Deep in the Upper West region, this sanctuary on the Black Volta River is one of the few places in the world where you can take a dugout canoe to see wild hippos in their natural habitat. The Peace Benchmark. Ghana is consistently ranked as one of the most peaceful countries in Africa by the Global Peace Index. It's a point of immense national pride that despite being in a sometimes turbulent region, Ghana remains a shining star of stability. Free Senior High School. In a massive move for development, Ghana made senior high school, SHS, completely free in 2017. This has led to a massive surge in enrollment, ensuring that the Black Star youth are some of the most educated in the region. The legendary Trotro, you can't miss them. Trotros are the shared minibuses that serve as the primary mode of transport. Each one has a mate, conductor, who hangs out the window shouting the destination and a catchy, sometimes religious, slogan painted on the back. The Apatoyi, a sanka. Every traditional kitchen has one. It's an earthenware grinding bowl with a ridged interior. It's used with a wooden masher to make the freshest pepper sauces and soups. Ghanaians swear food tastes better when it's made in an asanka. Oa, the strategy game. This is one of the oldest board games in the world. It's a pit and pebble game that requires intense mathematical strategy. You'll see men gathered under trees or in front of shops, playing at lightning speed. The finger snap handshake. When you shake hands with a Ghanaian, don't be surprised by the click. As the hands pull apart, you snap your middle fingers against each other. It's the universal sign of a friendly, informal greeting. Billboard funerals. In many countries, billboards are for Coca-Cola or Apple. In Ghana, they are often used to announce funerals. These massive, colorful displays feature the deceased's photo and titles like "Gone Too Soon" or "What a Shock." The meaning of colors. Beyond the flag, colors matter. If you see someone in black and red, they are likely attending a funeral. If they are in white and gold, they are likely celebrating a victory, a naming ceremony, or a church milestone. A holiday for everything. Ghanaians love to celebrate. With 13 official public holidays, including Founders' Day, Farmers' Day, and Constitution Day, the national calendar is always packed with reasons to gather and eat. Talk radio culture. Ghana has one of the most vibrant media landscapes in Africa. Radio is the king of information. From political debates to social counseling shows, everyone has their favorite station tuned in all day long. Gallywood. This is the nickname for the Ghanaian movie industry. It produces hundreds of films a year, often focusing on family drama, traditional folklore, and the supernatural with a unique Ghanaian flair. Kumawood, the Chi industry. Based in Kumasi, Kumawood is a massive sub-industry that produces movies almost exclusively in the Chi language. These films are famous for their humor and for being incredibly popular in local markets. English excellence. Ghana is frequently ranked among the highest-scoring African nations for English proficiency. This makes it a top destination for international students and a hub for call centers and tech support in West Africa. The power of the proverb. In Ghana, you don't just speak, you use proverbs. For example, the lizard that jumped from the high Iroko tree said he would praise himself if no one else did. It's a way of showing wisdom and depth in conversation. Twitter, X, and TikTok kings. Ghanaians are incredibly savvy on social media. Ghana Twitter is famous for being one of the funniest and most vocal communities online, often driving global trends and clapping back at international critics. Chale Wote Festival, held every August in Jamestown, this is the largest street art festival in West Africa. It brings together thousands of artists, skaters, musicians, and designers for a wild explosion of creativity. Year-round warmth. There is no winter here. Temperatures almost never drop below 20 degrees Celsius 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a land of eternal summer, which is why life is lived so much outdoors. Powered by water, most of the country's lights come from the Okonosombo and Bui dams. While Dumsa, intermittent power outages, used to be a challenge, the country is rapidly diversifying into solar and gas power. High voter turnout. Ghanaians take their vote seriously. Election days are usually peaceful, and turnout is often over 70%, showing a deep commitment to the democratic process. Polygamy and tradition. While the modern legal system is based on Western models, traditional and Islamic law still allow for polygamy. However, among the younger generation in the cities, monogamy is becoming the standard. Literacy on the rise. Education is the priority. Ghana boasts a literacy rate of nearly 79%, one of the highest in West Africa. With a heavy focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, the next generation is being prepared for a globalized economy. A young nation's energy. Ghana is incredibly young. With a median age of just 21, the country is bursting with entrepreneurial energy. This youth bulge is driving the boom in the creative arts, tech startups, and social activism. Airlines and connectivity. Ghana is a regional aviation hub. Africa World Airlines, AWA, headquartered in Accra, has become one of the most reliable domestic and regional carriers, connecting Ghana to the rest of the West African sub-region. The symbolism of the Cedi, the currency symbol itself, is a piece of history. The sea with a bar through it was inspired by the cowrie shell. It serves as a daily reminder of the days when shells were the weight of wealth in the local markets. The language of beads. In Ghana, beads are more than jewelry. They are a biography. Different beads signify a person's age, status, and even their emotional state. In some cultures, a woman wearing specific beads around her waist is signaling her maturity or marital status. Tropical modernism. If you look at the architecture of the University of Ghana or various government buildings, you'll see tropical modernism. This style, popular in the 50s and 60s, uses natural ventilation and sun shading to keep buildings cool without constant air conditioning. Sunday best culture. Religion and fashion go hand in hand. On Sundays, the the streets of Ghana turn into a fashion runway. Men and women wear their most elaborate traditional Sunday best, custom-tailored Kent or wax print outfits to attend church services. The Galamsey Challenge, a major topic in modern Ghana, is Galamsey, illegal small-scale gold mining. While it provides income for some, the nation is currently in a massive push to stop it in order to protect the country's water bodies and forests. The prehistoric bird, deep in the Upper East and Ashanti forests, birdwatchers hunt for the white-necked rockfowl, Picatharts. It is a rare, prehistoric-looking bird that is one of the most sought-after sightings for eco-tourists in the world. The ancestral burial, even in death, Ghanaians stay connected to the land. It is a common tradition for people who have moved to the big cities to be carried back to their ancestral village for burial, ensuring they rest with the fathers. Dual naming tradition. Most Ghanaians have at least two sets of names. They have their Christian or English name, like John or Elizabeth, and their traditional name, like Kwesi or Abina. It represents the duality of living in a modern, globalized world while holding on to deep roots. The tapping of palm wine. High in the palm trees, tappers collect the sap that becomes palm wine. When it's fresh, it's sweet and non-alcoholic. By the end of the day, it ferments into a fizzy, potent drink that is a staple at village gatherings. Alata Samina, African black soap. Long before it was a luxury item in Sephora, black soap was a Ghanaian household staple. Made from the ash of harvested plants, like plantain skins or cocoa pods, and palm oil, it is famous for its healing properties. The pepper palate. If a Ghanaian says a meal is not spicy, proceed with caution. The Ghanaian palate is conditioned for high heat, often using petit bell chilies, K-Pak po shito, which are small but pack a massive punch. The super clash. In the world of soccer, nothing beats the rivalry between Accra Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. Known as the Super Clash, the entire country takes sides, and the atmosphere in the stadium is electric, rivaling the biggest derbies in Europe. Community-based ecotourism. Ghana has pioneered a model where the local community, not big corporations, owns the tourist sites. Whether it's the hippo sanctuaries or the monkey groves, the money goes directly back to building local schools and clinics. The master woodcarvers. In the village of Awia, you can find generations of woodcarvers. They specialize in the Asante stool, carved from a single block of wood. No two stools are exactly alike, and each design represents a different proverb or rank. The national pledge. Every morning, millions of Ghanaian school children stand at attention to recite the national pledge. It ends with the promise to uphold and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God. It instills a deep sense of patriotism from a young age. The Island of Peace. Despite having over 100 ethnic groups and being surrounded by nations that have faced civil unrest, Ghana has never had a civil war. This unity in diversity is the true secret of the nation's success. The warmth of the spirit. The final and most important fact. Ghana is globally recognized as one of the friendliest nations on earth. The Akwaba spirit isn't a marketing slogan. It is a genuine, warm-hearted hospitality that makes every stranger feel like they've finally come home. 200 facts, 200 heartbeats of a nation. We have traveled through time, from the ancient gold of the Ashanti to the vibrant, modern pulse of Accra. We have tasted the spice of the land and felt the warmth of the Akwaba spirit. But the beauty of Ghana is a story that never truly ends. If these facts moved you, or if you discovered a side of the Black Star you never knew existed, please give this video a like. It helps these stories of heritage and heart reach across the world. To join us as we continue to explore the wonders of our global family, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support keeps this journey alive. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for being part of this journey. Until we meet again on the next map, keep the spirit of freedom in your heart. Akwaba, and goodbye for now.